Oh,
Yeah,
so
that's-
check out this.
Let's see.
Yes, I knew there
What's
was
it
one.
say?
What?
I got it. Focus.
Mom's Extension Club was called Iron Bluff
Yes.
Extension
Yeah.
Club.
Oh, really?
They had a deal in the Gazette. All their
You have
news
to think about it
reporting.
at the time and then in the past or
Got
in
it?
the future.
Yep. There we go. You
Okay.
you started early. Now tell it. Should leave this here.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, there's a lot of history behind all these old places and
But,
stuff.
yeah,
They
but-
really are, so.
Well, I will.
Well, it's sure good to have you here.
Yes, yes. Lloyd Rohwer, graduate of 1946
Yep,
class there, and you just celebrated your 96th birthday.
yep,
Yeah, and today we're down here in our Elkhorn Museum.
yeah.
January 16th on a Thursday afternoon here.
2025.
Yeah, 2025. And your daughter, Joni, is here.
Yeah,
And
Joni.
So, but what we're going to do, did you get a glance at the questions?
Yeah.
So, we're just going to ask you again, you know,
yeah, that's fine.
your birthday has always been the 1st of January?
Yeah,
I mean, it would never change.
1929.
1929.
Yeah.
Okay.
At what time was it? We found the
Your birth
1:15 in the morning, we found his.
Wow.
birth
certificate.
certificate.
Yeah. And you were delivered at home
Yeah.
by a midwife,
What was the guy?
There was a
Yeah,
doctor.
Dr. Burke.
I don't
Now
remember
you
how it
asked
was.
that.
Because Dr. Burke delivered my father. I mean, Dr. Burke
I
was.
think Mr. Millard, I'm not
Oh,
sure.
really?
Do we have that with us?
So we brought some things.
Yes.
Sure.
Just for you to look at to see
Sure.
what might, and
Yeah, yeah.
you know what? Burke almost sounds familiar, but I don't know.
He might be in that book of births we've got back here.
Yeah.
But it was
Yeah,
1:15 a.m.
15. Yeah, because yeah, that was where you were born, on the home place.
Yeah, yeah.
Right there on F Street, just to the south of F Street as it went
Yeah,
west on there.
Do you have an address?
But,
Is there an address for your house now, where you're
oh yeah,
living?
we can finally get in there.
Jerry, is it Jerry's address would be 20929
2929, yeah, I think it is.
is
Okay.
the address of the home place now.
Yeah.
F Street.
Of
Yeah.
the house Dad was born in. Now there's also a house on there that was Grandpa and Grandma's that they built the year Mom and Dad got married. Mom and Dad lived with Grandpa and Grandma Rohwer for Nelvina for the first 6 months of their marriage while they built Grandpa and Grandma's house.
Built that house.
That is still there.
Folks.
Is that the same picture that we have in our barn calendar? You gave me an oval kind of picture of the farm.
Oh, yeah, I've got that hanging in my basement, yeah.
Yeah, and I think you loaned it to us for that calendar that we had
Yeah.
during the barn of the barns
Yeah.
of that farm place. Yep, that's the one.
That's
yeah.
the one you saw hanging there
Yes.
that you liked or you
Yes,
noticed.
I
Yeah,
noticed.
yeah. So we did feature that in our barn
Uh-huh.
calendar too. And your parents. How many brothers and sisters did you have?
One sister,
One sister.
Yeah.
Okay. Your dad's name was
Ferdinand,
Ferdinand
Chris.
Rohwer.
yeah,
Okay, your mother was
Albina, Christina, Charlotta, Jip.
Jip. See, yeah, there's the Jip name. Yeah. But and you only had one sister then,
Yeah, one
and that was
sister,
it.
Norma, yes.
Oh,
Yeah,
and stuff. We invited Larry to come along
Yeah.
too, because he would know more about farming. And when you talk about changing, maybe how farming has changed. But right now we're just talking about where he was born, the date, and that kind of stuff. And his father's.
Hi, Larry.
was, what was again the first name?
Ferdinand,
Ferdinand. Oh, just like my grandfather's, Ferdinand
Yeah.
Rohwer. And your grandmother's first name?
my grandmother.
Oh, your mother's,
Mother, Albina,
Alvina, and she was a Jip.
yeah,
Okay.
What about grandparents?
And then your grandparents, on your mother's side, they were the Jips from near Bennington.
yeah, yeah,
And then the Rohwer side was from over there on F
yeah,
Street,
yeah.
on that part of
Yeah.
western Douglas
Okay,
County.
yeah. The home place is on 108th and Pacific.
Oh, really?
Tomlinson Woods.
The what?
Tomlinson Woods?
Tomlinson
Yeah,
Woods,
right
right?
next to it, yeah.
Yes.
and then they moved out that area?
Folks married, well, Grandpa bought the farm out here, and then they were married, but they moved out on the farm and out to where I live
Can you shut that door?
now.
I'm getting all that
That
background
picture,
noise.
that oval picture, that's the way it was when they came.
Okay.
Because this was taken by the Dose family, which lived there before.
The Dose,
That oval picture was.
that was a Dose
so
farm
that would-
beforehand.
Yeah, that would have been, the picture, that would have been, that's what, when they moved there, that's what it looked like.
Do you know when that was, that they moved out there to Elkhorn?
Probably 19, I don't know what that was.
We thought about 26,
I
because
think so.
26, 27,
Yeah,
because Dad was born in 29,
yeah,
and they moved out there a couple years before that.
yeah.
Which Rohwer was your grandpa?
Grandpa Henry?
Henry. Okay. There were a lot of Rohwers.
Oh,
In-
fuck, yeah.
It was a flock. Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
Yeah, that Rohwer name is very familiar in that whole Millard area.
that area is where George Rohwer, he was on the west side of where Henry Rohwer lived. I mean, they were brothers. So there was a
Okay.
whole bunch of Rohwer family out there.
Yeah.
And your family, most of them came from like Germany, somewhere in Germany?
Yeah, I think so. It's Schleswig Holstein up in that area,
Yes.
some places where they come
Yeah.
from.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then Grandpa Jip, I don't know, he came over, well, the labs, that was, his wife was the labs.
Yeah.
Yeah, so, and I don't know when he came over, but it was early, and she married this Bertha Labs.
Mm-hmm.
So that's, I guess that's about all.
Yeah, yeah. So was there a lot of family members? You got to know a lot of the cousins and
Oh, yeah.
A
There's
lot of-
a lot of them,
yeah.
yeah.
one of the questions I wanted to ask is, what is your first memory that you ever experienced? Like, was it something on the farm? Something at school?
Probably the earliest would be at my first grade in school. See, my Aunt Johnny, Alma, she was my first and second grade teacher.
Okay.
And I do remember on the north side, about the third seat back, Charlie Fox, me, and Margaret, we were all first graders at the same time.
Yeah,
I do remember that.
yeah. It's kind of fun to, it's something
yeah,
lots
yeah,
in,
it's there, yeah.
Yes.
You know, it's,
in in your memory.
oh, yeah.
Yeah. So then, like, as a first grader, of course, you're probably not doing a lot of chores, but are you getting into the farm life of
yeah.
everyday life and
I don't know how old I was, but I started with a gallon pail and an old Hereford roan cow. She stood like a brick. You could milk her easy.
yeah,
I
yeah,
was just a
He
kid.
said his first
yeah.
one.
And then I
Yeah.
gradually worked in where I milked them all as I got older. But
Sure, yeah,
I
yeah.
went with it. So
Was your sister older or younger than
younger,
you? Younger
4
than you?
years younger.
4 years younger.
Yeah.
So she probably learned all the things that a housewife would have needed to be.
Yeah,
Yeah.
she was.
Is she
pretty-
married and lived around here?
No, Iowa.
She lived in Iowa.
She married John Taylor from Oakland, Iowa. Well, it wasn't much in Oakland, was it?
Yeah, it was Oakland.
Well, okay.
Well, I don't know where they first lived. That's where I.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's where they,
Yeah.
but
Mhm.
that's where they,
So,
that's
yeah.
where they lived and stuff. So.
So yeah. So like your childhood relatives and friends, y'all got together and
Oh yeah.
the church activities. Did you belong over there somewhere
Yeah.
or here in
Well,
Elkhorn?
I was baptized in Zion Lutheran Church. That was Mom's church.
South Church there in
Yeah, that was
Bennington.
before we had a Bethany Lutheran. And then
Mm-hmm.
Alma Wilms, that's when they started Bethany. They were got the folks to transfer, to Bethany then. So that's when
Right.
we were Bethany from then on. So,
Yeah. Okay. But school was always over there
Yeah,
through
that's-
the 8th grade. That Spring
Yep,
Grove
yep,
school.
Yep.
That a picture of right there.
Yep, that's it.
That's it. Yeah.
Yep, that's it.
Yeah. I guess that was a picture for Charlie and his wife 25th wedding anniversary.
Oh,
This was
okay.
done for them
Okay.
when they had that, but
Yeah.
yeah.
And Dad said that this was one of the first red brick schools.
We were one of, I don't know how many, quite a few red brick schoolhouses. I assume they were around like that, but
But one of the
that's
first.
what they told us anyway. That it was. Oh,
Yeah,
but that's it. You betcha.
that's it.
And this pump was not there the first few years that we went to school. The oldest boys had to go across to Hickey's place and get water, that crock of water, bring it back and get water.
Yeah. But yeah,
So that was 3 or 4 years after that before they put well in there and stuff.
so you've seen a lot of stuff that, you know, outdoor
Outhouses.
outhouses,
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah, oh,
and
yeah.
all those kinds of things. No electricity. Did you have electricity at that place? At that school?
I don't even remember that for sure. I don't know.
Did you have it at home?
Huh?
Did you have electricity at home?
No, we didn't until after World War II. We
Oh
couldn't
my
get
goodness.
anymore until then.
What did
Yeah,
you
we didn't
light
have, we
the?
didn't have electricity until World War II, after World War II.
What did you use to light the house up?
Kerosene lamps, yeah. The Aladdin lamps, and, you know, that's a long time ago too. Everything is.
The thing that astounds me about this country school, they had a boys and a girls outhouse.
Well,
Is-
yeah.
Well, but it was an outhouse and it was back in the day. That there was no gender, I mean, an outhouse was an outhouse. It wasn't necessarily gender specific. It astounds me.
Mine had that too. A boys and a girls.
So maybe
Yeah.
it's just me. But you know, you go to a festival and they have outhouse or they have porta potties and they don't men's and women's. It's a unisex one.
Sure.
From the time, I don't know why I asked Dad, but for years that has just perplexed me that they had that.
They told me, because we had that at our country school, that when it was recess, everybody would have to head to the same bathroom. So that's why they had to separate them. So you'd have 3 or 4 holes in a girl's or 3 or 4 holes in a boy's.
So everybody could go at
So
once.
they could go at once.
Oh, yeah.
To me,
That's what they
it
told
just
me.
seems so
I
bizarre.
don't
that
know
it
if
was
you
so
remember
gendered
that.
back then.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, was this school close enough for you to walk?
Yeah, we did.
You walked back and forth to school or rode a
No,
horse?
well, yeah, not the first years. I think, see, my Aunt Johnny was teacher there
Sure.
for 2
Did
years.
she live with your family?
I think so.
Okay.
This is not clear. I can't remember all that stuff.
Sure.
Yeah, I think she did.
Was she
And
married?
She taught for 2 years.
2 years?
Yeah, there.
Was she married?
Not then, no. She was
Yeah.
single.
Mm-hmm.
She got married to, I don't know what year was that when they finally get married.
It was later.
Yeah. But anyway, that's,
How many students did you have in your school? I mean, it varied, I'm sure.
oh,
but
it varied a bunch. When first years, of course, I was such a little guy compared to some of the 8th graders were, I think, 16 or 17 years old probably.
Yeah.
But,
Did they?
it was neat.
Yeah. Did you, when you went to school, did you go, even in the, when it was spring planting time or harvesting time,
No,
did you get out of school to do anything?
Well, yeah, we were out of school usually.
When you got to do
Yeah,
some of those
yeah,
things
Oh, yeah.
to help on the farm,
Yeah, oh, yeah.
to bring in the crops or, yeah.
Get
yeah.
in the pluck crops,
Yeah.
yeah. mostly.
But when you were farming, you're growing up on the farm, you had like cows, pigs,
Oh, yeah.
you had chickens,
Oh, yeah.
all those
Yeah,
things.
ducks and geese.
Yeah,
Mom
yeah.
always had goose, so we had goose for Christmas always, so
Sure, yeah.
that was reason behind that, I guess. Yeah,
You can't believe, like she can't believe about
yeah.
the outhouses, but like when you went to school was like 9 o'clock in the morning. Did you break for? You always took a lunch, I'm
Oh, yeah,
assuming,
yeah, yeah.
and then you playing outside on recess. Did you guys have all kinds of things outside to play on? Swings,
We had
merry-go-rounds.
merry-go-round, and then it was in the eye over over the schoolhouse, that was.
Yeah. Cause like this flag here, did
Yeah.
you guys go up, like in the morning when it was a nice day, you go out and raise the flag?
No,
No?
I don't recall ever
Even seeing that?
ever seeing that.
Yeah. So you said that, when you talked about the Dose family, was it the Dosey family also? Like Margie Dosey
Yeah, she was
and Ralph?
And Ralph, yeah.
And those people were some of your classmates out there?
Yeah, she was, it was Charlie Fox and Margaret and me, we were first graders.
Oh, okay.
And we went all through the 8 grades in the same school. And sometimes we'd have an extra student once in a while for a year, and then we'd be gone again and stuff. But
Yeah.
Russell Monagle, they moved into the place, and he went to school with us for a while.
Who did you say, Dad, went to school with you and quit, like, right before graduation?
Oh, that was in high school.
Oh, okay. There was who was that?
Menke, was his name. But anyway, he quit just a couple weeks before graduation. He quit.
Oh, man.
I don't know. Never could figure that out. But
So my other thing I like about Dad, when the country's kids went into high school, and I said, were they glad to see you there? I mean, were they glad to have you? And your answer was,
well, it took a couple days before we got everything straightened out.
And these two.
I love that. He said,
and it wasn't a problem.
no.
Couple days.
Yeah. But yeah, no, and then it was a different thing that you could, maybe a neighbor and you rode a car to go to high school then, back then?
We went, first 2 years in high school, we Keels and Brennickes, and us, and we were all riding together. We took turns driving to school and stuff, but anyway. And
Yeah.
so we got, and then the last year was Godwinson. And there was,
Yeah.
and then I could play basketball for 2 years anyway.
Sure. Yeah. Yeah, because if sometimes if you had to get home and help on the farm.
Yeah, well, I didn't want to get home. Without walking, you
Yeah.
went home,
Yeah. But it was, quite a ways. Well, F Street out there
Yeah.
that you had to. Yeah. No.
It's about 5 miles.
Yes, but no. So, what do you remember about like the Great Depression? Was it bad here with like grasshoppers and dust
Well,
blowing?
that was different than the Depression, but no,
Yeah.
I don't remember. I don't think any kids probably remember I don't remember the Depression.
You don't.
The drought years I remember real
Yeah.
well, because that when we
Yeah.
cut silage and everything went to silo. But
Yeah.
no, I don't. As far as the Depression, I don't know. I don't.
You always had plenty to eat.
Oh,
Food
yeah.
on the
Oh,
table,
yeah.
clothes
Oh,
on
yeah.
your back.
Oh, yeah. Oh,
It
yeah.
didn't stop you from going to school.
No,
No.
no. Like I say, I don't have really any bad memories of the Depression until I read about it later
Later
in life.
years. Yeah. Well, then,
Oh,
like,
what it was,
yeah,
was it?
you're born in '29, and that was the start of the Great Depression.
They say,
and,
they say I started it.
You started
January 1.
yeah. So, but yeah, no, those years, and then before World War II,
Yeah.
And of course, how did you have a radio, like some kind of crystal
Battery radio.
a
yeah,
battery
Yeah.
radio that you could
Oh, yeah.
keep up on the
Yeah,
news of what
yeah,
was going on
yeah.
in the world?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
In that way and stuff. So, but you had the activities of school and church. Your mother maybe belonged to like Iron Bluffs
Yeah,
Extension
yeah,
Club
yeah, yeah.
and those
Oh,
things.
yeah.
People gathered together,
Oh, yeah.
and then you maybe had dances at certain places that you went to when you were growing up too. Your
Oh,
Well, that's where you met Mom, was it at
well,
No,
yeah.
yeah. Sokol?
That's all. We had a freshman and sophomore dance in school. That's when I first learned what dancing was. So
Oh, okay, yeah, yeah. So, but no,
I remember Sylvia Cabuddy, she showed me how to dance and what like that.
yeah, yeah. No, it's just like, yeah.
So.
It was a easier, don't you think it was a simpler time too?
Oh, it definitely was
Yeah,
that. Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, but the warriors, you know, and you couldn't get machinery and all that stuff, and made your dad build a sweep. See, in 1935, he bought his first tractor, and then he built a sweep to fit on the front of the tractor rather than they used horses, better horses on the sweep, you know, back in those days. Well, that he used the tractor, so. But anyway, he got a patent on it, so
wow.
anyway, and it really worked good.
Did he make any money?
You know what?
Did he make any money on his
he
machine?
he gave a guy down by Plattsmouth or someplace
Right.
right to build him, I guess. But,
So your first tractor, 1935, your dad's?
yeah.
What make and model or whatever, do you remember?
WC Alice, yeah.
Alice?
Yeah, the cranks, no starters.
Yeah.
And
Now
it wasn't till after World War II before we could get a second tractor. And we were, otherwise it was teams of horses and one tractor. We farmed all that ground, and that's,
How many
Can
acres
I-
was it?
Can
well,
I
there was
ask,
190 there at home we farmed.
Oh,
let me
And
ask
then
you,
80 down county line later on we bought down there, so.
let me ask you, Lloyd, did you like horses? Did you like farming
Oh,
with
yeah.
horses?
I drove horses quite a little bit. Even after that, I don't know how old I was, but take a box wagon and team of horses, and they dumped it with combine and dump it in there, and they take it down, and you had to shovel it off into the bins and stuff.
No elevator?
No, not that time.
Wow.
were they like big Belgian type horses?
No, these
No,
are-
they weren't?
No, not the great big ones. No.
Oh. But,
Workhorses, good
Just
size, yeah. I
good
don't know
size
how many- I
workhorses?
don't know how many hands tall they would be, but they were big, but not anything, you know,
yeah.
real big ones. But,
Did you, I mean, and they were gentle,
oh, yeah.
you know, and you just, yeah, and you took really good care, like the animals.
Oh,
I mean, they talk about people today, but back then you took care because it was your livelihood.
yeah. They
Yeah.
were part of, they were young. Yeah, I cultivated with a single cultivator and team of horses, so.
Were you
Fantastic.
riding on the cultivator or were you walking behind
I
it?
rode on that, now, we had a seat on it.
I want to know, what does that feel like? Like this?
Yeah,
I mean,
about right. Yeah.
bouncing up and down.
No, you weren't moving that fast. so
Okay.
You didn't do much bouncing, but it, yeah. These are first experiences of,
Yeah. And that ground had been maybe farmed before you came onto it? I mean, like your parents, when they were first married,
Yeah.
and then you say your grandparents were there, and that your grandparents lived there a while?
no, they
Oh.
bought
They bought another place?
they bought that place.
Oh, okay.
And they lived over in 114th
Oh, okay.
Pacific.
And they bought it from Dosey.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
it's Herman and Mary. Doe.
Herman and Mary Dose?
Yeah, they farmed there for.
Before you?
That was the one that put ahead of us.
Okay.
And they went out to Loop City to farm.
Yep.
They'd come back and pick corn for Dad, and they said they had enough money to farm the next year. They dried out year after year
Yeah.
back in those days.
Yes. Mary Dose actually and Herman are the reason my parents came to Elkhorn. They
Really?
were right on they were on the same road, and Herman and Mary, my grandparents would have to drive by there.
Yeah.
And when my mother graduated, Mary Dose says, "Florence, this is not the place for you. I live in Elkhorn, you gotta come to Elkhorn."
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I'll be done.
And so they did, and my mom, that's how she met my dad.
Oh,
And, and then that's why I'm here, but,
Why
but
you're
this
here.
about you. But this about you. But you know, our lives. When you think about the
Oh, yeah.
gyp name, we're related through the gyps.
Yeah.
And then the labs.
Labs, yeah.
That's It's a small world when we get
It
to all.
really is. You don't realize it until you do a little of this kind of stuff, and then you find out.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Did you have trouble dating in high school later on, or any time dating? Because could be a relative, you know.
Well, there were a lot of relatives and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. So, no, but it's
No,
just.
not too much, I guess.
But and the population, how it's grown since.
Oh man, yeah. You used to know everybody in town, and now you know hardly, half of them at best.
Yeah. Unless you have something to go through and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Larry, is there anything that we've been talking about, like the machinery, the farming?
Well, I just wondered if, when you come to Elkhorn, what businesses did you go to, or what do you remember what businesses there were?
Well, Dankers, they hauled our milk, and they also were the Ellis dealer there for quite a few years.
Okay.
And I don't know if we went for parts. I don't. They didn't really have a big parts department, but I think you could order them through him. And then there was Ellis dealer in Benson, I think it was. We did some. If you needed
Where'd
parts.
your milk go?
I don't really know.
What is it? Was it Mid-America?
Yeah, I think so.
Was it?
Yeah.
That milk. There's a picture we got of the Milk Association or something. I don't know which one it is.
Old Milk Producers Picnic.
Oh,
Yeah.
let me see that.
Okay.
Oh, my
yeah.
gosh.
Okay. You never probably went into a machine type milking, did you ever?
Not for a long time. No,
Yeah.
it was a long time
It was
before we got into
everybody-
that. Yeah.
Join in. And how many cows did you have to milk?
Oh, probably a dozen.
A dozen?
Most, yeah.
And then you sold the cream at a
Well,
separator.
cream or whole milk, yeah.
Whole milk.
Milk, yeah.
Yeah. Later on, they probably came and took the bulk.
Well, we finally gave it up because we weren't going to be big enough to afford the big tanks and all that stuff. So
Right. And what a deal! Twice a day, 7 days a week.
you bet.
Didn't get to take a vacation, maybe.
No, there wasn't many vacations taken,
No,
but somebody had to be there. So,
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
No.
true.
Did you have a cooler on your farm for the
yeah.
milk can, the
Oh,
cream
yeah.
cans to go into?
Kept
What
them
did
for-
that look like?
Beer pretty cold too.
Tell us what that looked like.
Huh?
Tell us what that looked like. What that was made of. Your cooler.
Oh, that was, just a big box with the line was insulated and a cooler unit and stuff, and then it stayed dark cold, yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Best part was the heater we had to have. That was just right for picking chickens. You dip them in
Oh
right
yeah.
temperature for it, so.
When we butcher chickens, they would
Yeah.
heat that up,
Yes.
and they'd have hot water to scald them.
Yeah.
I got in on that business.
Yeah.
I've done
Yeah.
that
Still
too.
smell the wet feathers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You guys were doing that up until a couple of years ago, weren't you?
What's that?
Was that Jerry doing that?
Butchering chickens.
Oh, yeah.
Butchering chickens.
Oh, yeah, we'd go time to time, yeah, we've done some of that.
Yeah.
Yep.
And had the eggs and all the things that
Oh,
you.
yeah.
You had everything you needed.
You really did.
You know, when you think about it, because.
Well, you get a case of eggs, you take it up to the store, and you trade it for groceries and made up the difference. That was,
Which store did you take your eggs to? Was it in Elkhorn?
yeah, on the upper store there.
We sold to French's in my world. French's, you used to take eggs to French's.
Oh, might have been, I don't know.
But
Yeah.
Bill Daly had the store.
Yeah.
But it would have been
Stephen.
Bill Hell,
Stabens.
Yeah.
Bill Hell, and Huck Feltz
Stabens.
and Stabens on down the line. Yeah. Yeah. Leona Clausen, Harold and Leona Clausen used to run the red and white store there
Oh,
too
yeah.
when I was a little kid.
Yeah.
And that way. So yeah, you guys and trade it for eggs.
Oh, yeah.
I mean eggs for groceries.
Groceries, yeah.
Yeah. And you guys had did you have a locker
Yeah,
somewhere?
we did have that too, yes, we did. Had the locker deal down there.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Big garden.
I forgot about that. I get them
We had a big garden and a big orchard.
It's, if you go uptown, my mom would say, well, you stop the locker and take up.
Sure, yeah, yeah.
That was neat.
Was
Yeah.
Saturday night a big thing?
Was that?
Were Saturday night to go into town to do anything besides going to a dance or whatever? Or
Where'd you watch your movies at?
What, Main Street on what, Wednesday nights or something. They had a
right here in Elkhorn,
Yeah, down.
and that was on Wednesday nights.
They had the screen down on the barber shop down there.
Right. Yes. Yes.
And benches up and down there. And yeah.
Yeah, and the merchants would stay open. I know on those nights.
Yeah, they was over. Yeah.
Yeah, so mom and dads would go to the merchants, and the younger people would come and would get to watch the different movies.
Yeah.
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 No, is much simpler time, but you had a great life, didn't you?
Oh yeah.
You know, when you think
No
you look back
complaints.
on those years.
No complaints.
Yeah,
No.
you know, and how innovation came in.
Well,
You know,
yeah,
like the tractors,
Yeah.
electricity. I mean, that we all take for granted today.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, you really do.
Yeah, because like, you know, you suffered during the really cold times.
Yeah.
Snow. You ever remember any really bad weather, like snowstorms that really just shut you down
Well, yeah, we had a few of those. Yeah.
over the years, where
Yeah,
you just
yeah.
couldn't get out?
No, you have to wait for somebody to open his roads up and stuff.
Do you remember them doing that Veterans Highway that went by? You know, it goes right there on 204th. It starts here on West Dodge Road, and that Highway 6 that goes all the way down through Ashland. And it was called the Veterans Highway.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Do you remember that? That had to be going up right close to you there.
Yeah.
And it was concrete built, you know. Because I know Highway 31 here in Elkhorn, that was gravel
Yeah.
all the way up
Oh,
into
yeah.
the 60s,
Yeah.
you know.
Lloyd, you've got some water if you want to drink of water.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, so, but, yeah, because, what's his name, Irvin Bull, he remembers them building Dodge Street,
Oh, yeah.
you know, and he said the horses and stuff that,
Yeah.
Do you remember them building Dodge Street?
No, I don't, but,
he wouldn't have been old enough.
Well, it was 2-lane.
yeah.
I'm sure you remember the 2-lane Dodge.
Yeah.
Or was it 4-lane? That's what I'm trying to remember. When did it become 4-lane Dodge?
In 1934 is when it was extended from 174th
Yeah.
out this way.
Out this
Okay.
far.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you'd have been 5.
Yeah.
And you don't remember?
But he does remember the WPA
Oh,
came
Oh.
out to the farm and worked.
And
Oh,
tell
really?
us about that.
Yeah, we had some dams put in there. That Box Elder Creek project, they call it.
Okay.
That's the Box Elder Creek that runs up through there that we got. We had actually 3 dams. One dirt dam up on the upper end, and then another in the middle. They had one was a spillway, and then they had another just rock piled up, and that didn't last very long anyway. That was gone before very long. But they planted a lot of cottonwood and different trees up along the banks and stuff too. So.
Did you ever go fishing down at the Elkhorn?
Yeah. That's where Charlie Fox lived in the summertime. We go down,
Okay. Yeah.
go down there. And,
Tell us about your fishing adventures. I
What?
bet you were fishing and swimming, and were you swimming in the Elkhorn?
no, we didn't go swimming in the Elkhorn. But
He hunted a lot.
well, yeah, that's where did we go to take swimming lessons? We went down to Coles Lake, I think it was.
Mm-hmm.
They had you could go down there and take swimming lessons and stuff. And that's where I learned to swim. So
It's Cowles Lake, and now it's Two Rivers State Park.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah. So that was always a
yeah.
treat down that way.
That's where we swam.
Okay. Better place. Yes.
But, no, I never did swimming before that. I think one of the McCardles was a swimming instructor down there or something, if I remember right.
Who were some of your other neighbors around your area?
Oh, Charlie Warren's.
Charlie?
Wilms is on the south side of us. And,
Wilms, would that have been Orville Wilms?
no,
No?
Herman, you said.
Orville would have been the boy. Herman Wilms is the father,
Okay.
and he had what 2, 3 boys, Vernon and Vern Wilms. Or they had an Orville. Yeah, it might have been part of their family, I guess.